Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I've had this one for a bit. I didn't want to rush and make a video, but I also don't really need 20 minutes to cover it. So here's a quick take that took a while to get to. But before we get into that, don't forget to check this great discount for it. You can find the link in both the video description and the top comment below. Alright, enough talk. Let's get right into it. So, I rarely write reviews because I'm usually buried in work, but this projector impressed me enough to share my experience with you guys. The whole pandemic era had my kids stuck with screens, and doctors warned about eye strain from hours online. They said something about projectors being easier on young eyes when the room is not blasting with brightness and the screen sits farther away. After testing more than 10 options, this projector stood out in a real everyday way. The brightness on this projector is the standout for me. We like to keep the curtains open for a healthier room, letting some daylight in, and most projectors just crumble under sunlight. This projector stays clear enough that we can watch during the day without rubbing eyes or squinting. The kids still complain about eye fatigue less than before a long online class. Eye doctors confirmed their eyes look fine, and that's worth a lot in my book. It's not just about brightness, the image holds up when the room isn't pitch dark, which is a practical win. Video quality is solid enough for weekend family movie nights to feel like we're in a tiny cinema. The picture looks sharp, and the sound is decent enough to keep us contained to the family room without chasing a separate stereo system every time we want to watch something. I'm naturally lazy about wiring things up, so not needing a big audio setup to get a good experience is a plus. If you want a bigger punch, a soundbar would be a nice upgrade, but it isn't mandatory. Setup and everyday use are refreshingly simple. The autofocus is quick and accurate, and I can move this projector around without fuss. For a device I pull out for online classes and occasional movie nights, that kind of ease matters. I've spent years leading design teams at major companies, and I genuinely appreciate when a device feels thoughtful in its core functions rather than gimmicky features. In terms of performance over time, I've seen improvements with firmware updates, and even some hardware tweaks. My unit survived a fall of the stand and needed a replacement, which was handled at a reasonable price, and the latest firmware brought the picture up a notch. The community around this projector is active, so there are tweaks and tips that help you squeeze more out of it, especially on things like 3D and playback from USB drives. If you're setting this up as the main screen for a media room, a big screen in a quiet room make a huge difference, and you'll want at least a good screen and blackout curtains. If you're into gaming or streaming, this projector plays nicely with a streaming device, and it's flexible enough to handle different input sources. Overall, this is one of the better value buys I've made for a home theater setup, and it's earned a solid place in our living space. So that's the end of the video. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you again very soon.